Okay, so welcome. My name is David Burnham, and I am one of the curriculum developers working on Computer Science A here at CodeHS. And I want to take some time to go over what we're going to cover today. So as you may be aware, we have two main courses in our AP Computer Science A curriculum. We're going to focus most of the presentation today on the Nitro course, but we'll also talk about the Mocha course as well. From there, we're going to take a look at some of the other material that we have available here at CodeHS to help both you and your students prepare for the test. And we're going to show you how to access some of this material. And then at the end, we'll take some time to answer any questions that we have. So let's start by taking a look at our Nitro course, which was introduced at the start of the last school year. So the AP CSA Nitro course is aligned to the current AP curriculum the College Board released last year. This course is endorsed by College Board and follows the same order that College Board has laid out. Many teachers find this helpful so that they can easily integrate resources from that the College Board provides on their AP classroom site. Our Nitro course also uses the main method and the scanner class, which makes the code more transferable compared to our Mocha course. So in our CSA course, students learn input and output early on, which helps them create interactive programs. They also use simulators to explore concepts such as sorts. And most of the College Board labs are integrated into our platform through supplemental material. So let's take a look at the different modules in the Nitro course. So as I previously mentioned, our modules follow the same order as College Board. With this in mind, you'll notice that we dive into objects early on in Module 2 after covering primitive variables. This would definitely challenge students early in the course. But from there, students can cover some of the basic computer science concepts, such as conditional statements and loops. We then head back into classes in Module 5 and objects, as students now will create their own classes. From there, we tackle arrays and array lists. The last three modules include some more advanced concepts as students will start to take a look at 2D arrays, inheritance, and recursion. So in addition to our main concept modules, you'll also find additional material in our supplemental modules, including several of the College Board labs. We've included most of the new labs that were released last year, as well as some of the previous College Board labs. Okay, so that's an overview of our Nitro course. Now I want to talk a little bit about Mocha and how it's different from Nitro. So our Mocha course is our original AP CSA course and was created based on the curriculum prior to 2019. With that said, there are some noticeable differences. First, you'll find that lessons covering both abstract classes and interfaces, which are no longer in scope. Additionally, you can find several topics that are in scope that weren't fully covered in our original course. If you taught the course last year with Mocha, these lessons were found in our supplemental course. However, they've recently been integrated into the main course. Another big difference is that Mocha simplifies the way that the program runs and how it handles input from users. Neither of these concepts are tested by College Board, so we simplified them to help students go through the course. The order of the modules is also different and does not follow the order from College Board. This is important to note as there's a decent chance that the school year is impacted again next year, and if College Board alters the scope of the AP test, they will likely cut off content that's at the end of their course, which may not necessarily be the end of the Mocha course. Finally, it's important to note that this course has not gone through the endorsement process with College Board, so it is not considered an endorsed course like our Nitro courses. So in addition to our main course, we have several additional content available to help Java students. So launched last February, our practice site contains over 100 short unit tests in Java that allow students to help practice different tests. These can be completed independently for students, or they can be assigned to a class. We're going to take a look at this in a second, but I also wanted to point out our AP CSA FRQ Center. So launched this past April, our AP CSA FRQ Center contains a playlist of past AP FRQ questions from College Board. The site allows students to either complete an assignment as a text-only assignment to more closely simulate the actual AP test, or complete it as a runnable code where they can check their work against auto-graders. Both versions can be completed independently or assigned. So I want to walk through a demo of both of these features. So let's take a look here. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the practice first. So from the teacher main page, you can find practice as a dedicated tab at the top. And again, students can find this as well. They don't have to be assigned. You don't actually have to be logged in either, but you'll find it here. So again, practice has several different languages that you can choose from. We're going to talk mainly about Java today, but you can actually assign different levels if you want to. You'll notice the content is broken down into different categories and different levels within those categories. And all of these are using what we call a unit test. So for example, let's take a look at this cube of a number. So you want to write a method that is going to essentially return the cube of a number that's passed in. So the students would be given something like this. They're just going to say return the cube. So you can just say it. And then they can check their code, and it will run test cases against it to see if they actually pass their code correctly. And so again, then they can submit, and they will get a green circle that would show them that they've completed it. So that's our practice. You'll find that right at codehs.com/practice. And again, lots of different questions. You can assign these through your teacher account, or students can work independently on them. So I also wanted to talk about our AP FRQ Center. You're going to find that under our toolboxes. So in Toolbox, you'll see resources and the AP CSA FRQ Center. So now the FRQ Center has a list of past AP questions from College Board. You can either view the question as a PDF. You can also view the scoring guide as a PDF. You can also take and have students actually just complete the code, or using this column, you can actually assign the code or the problems to students. You'll notice that each problem has several options. You can either have the complete code or broken down into parts for the assignments. And then when you choose these, you can also choose whether you want the text only or the runnable version of the code. So let's take a look, for example, at the 2017 FRQ1 digits. So if I click on text only, what I'm going to see is a version of this problem that uses our editor, but only gives the students what they would have gotten on the test. So it gives them a simulation of the question here, and this is just for part A. So they have an example of the question, they have what was given to them here, and then they can create their code. But you'll notice that there's no way for them to run the code. There's no way to actually check that the code is correct. And there's nothing as they type that is going to necessarily indicate whether or not they're getting anything that's correct here. But it does use our editor to do that. The other option with these is to look at it as a runnable version. So now if I go to the runnable version of this code, of this problem, you'll notice the first difference here is that I now have, in addition to the part that needs to be completed here, I'm given some of the helper methods that would be needed to actually run the code. And I'm also given a runnable class to test it. I'm also given auto graders to run against, and you'll see without the code here, it's not going to necessarily pass, but it allows students to actually work through the problem and check and see how they're doing, see if they're actually getting the problem correctly. Now, the last option that you have is to assign an entire playlist, which essentially has all of these different pieces, in addition to a part at the end which shows them the scoring guide and gives them a chance to reflect on their score. So it talks through how would they have scored, how do you score points on this problem according to College Board, and how did they actually do on that. So a couple different pieces there that can also be assigned as you need to be. And one thing to note, though, these are problems from College Board. The answers are freely available on our site, in part too because they're freely available for students if they wanted to look at it. So it's more of a place for students to practice, not necessarily a place where you're going to assign a problem for a grade, since the answer is readily available. All right, so let's go back to our presentation here. Okay, so in addition to those resources, we do also offer a review course that is set up to essentially walk students through a review process that takes 3 to 4 weeks towards the end of the course. In this review course, you're going to find several different pieces of content. You're going to find past quiz questions from the lessons. You're going to find new quiz questions that they may not have seen. And you're also going to find additional short practice problems that are unique to this course so that you won't find in other places on our website. So now that I've got you excited about the course, let's see how we can access it. So you can find both courses in the course catalog where you can view the courses and directly assign them. Alternatively, you can use the quick enroll link to enroll in Nitro at codehs.com/CSA_Nitro/start. You can view the course syllabus by going to codehs.com/syllabus6165 or from the link in the course catalog page. You can also get an overview of the course by checking out the marketing page found at codehs.com/info/curriculum/AP-Java. All right, so that brings us to the end of the presentation. Are there questions that we can answer?
Hey, Dave. So right now we don't have any questions. So maybe we can talk about the PD opportunity. And if anybody has any questions, you should be able to press the Q&A button at the bottom of your menu, and you can send us questions from there.
Okay. So yes, we do have some summer free PDs coming up. We have one specifically focused on the AP CSA and using AP CSA on our platform. That is going to be Monday, July 6th, 2020. And it's going to be a 2-hour PD from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, or from noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We also have a specific workshop on AP CSP, which will be offered 2 weeks later at the same time, Monday, July 20th. In addition to these, we have a whole bunch of other PDs depending on which other courses you may want to teach. We also have some PDs for new teachers exploring CodeHS, and also for experienced teachers that may want to learn a little bit more detail about that. You can find all of these out at codehs.com/info/PD/free workshops. You'll also find the links to register at those as well.
Thanks, Dave. So we had a question actually as you were talking about training for AP CSA. So I can answer that a little bit. First, there is the free summer PD workshops. So we are teaching an AP CSA specific workshop July 6th. And so I posted the link to our free PD information in the chat. We also do have an online course, an online professional development course for AP CSA teachers. I would say it's a 30 to 40 hour course, self-paced. You get assigned a support person from our PD team who will give you feedback and support throughout the course, but you can go at it at your own pace, and that dives a little bit deeper than we would get just in a one-day workshop. Dave, here's a question from somebody named Michael. Is there any redundancy of exercises between the Nitro course, the Mocha course, or the practice exercises? So in other words, will you see an exercise repeat across the different platforms, or are they all unique?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So we tried to make the practice site pretty much all unique, so you shouldn't see repeat questions there. There is some overlap between Nitro and Mocha, but it's not too significant. So if you did teach Mocha as like an introductory course, you find that you could actually go through Nitro, and the number of repeat assignments is relatively small. Most of the questions were developed, or most of the exercises were developed new for Nitro. The one place that you will find overlap, if you did the Latte course between Latte and Mocha, there's a lot of overlap as well. Latte is our introduction to Java course.
Great. We did have a question about the data lab. Are we planning to add the data lab to our courses?
Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure when we're going to try to get this up, but we are working on trying to get this up right now. We have a limitation to the platform that we're working on, but we are working on trying to get that data lab up.
Great. Right now, I'm not seeing any other questions come in. Okay, we have a question about the free PD course or the free PD workshop. Will it be recorded and available after the 6th for people who can't attend that day? The answer right now is I'm not actually sure. I'm going to talk to our director of PD because that has been something that we've had requested in a few of these webinars. And so I'm going to see if we can, it might not be the full workshop, but at least have like different sessions that we record and make available for teachers.
Yeah. So yeah, question about redundancy across review courses and the review course and the others. So part of the review course is set up to be redundant. There is a section where we do basically take all of the quizzes from the units that were there and revisit them. So we bring those questions in. We also have a section where we actually offer new questions. So there's a place to get some new questions. And then most of the exercises, so each unit has 10 short exercises, like unit test kind of exercises. Those were developed new for the review course, and for the most part, they should not be overlapping anything else.
Great. I'm just going to post in chat a link to an information page for the online PD course. We had a question about the Arduino course. So that is actually available in beta form right now. So teachers can access the beta version of the course, and it will be launched in full for students and for you to create sections in July.
So yes, so the question about the new CSA or the CSA course, the free PD, whether it's going to cover how to set it up. We're not going to necessarily cover a lot of that detail in that PD, but we do have a PD specifically for new teachers on CodeHS that we are going to cover how to set up courses and things like that. So you may want to check out that PD in addition to the CSA PD. In the CSA PD, we're really going to go walking through several lessons and see how you can take those lessons and apply them in a distant learning environment or in a classroom environment.
Yeah, exactly.